So today's OCD FAQ is a question that comes up all the time. People are often asking, is OCD chronic? And my frequently given answer is no, but mental health is chronic. You will always have mental health just like you will always have physical health. And they change, they vary, they are not static. Let's talk about physical health and look at an example there, because people understand change and they understand how their bodies change when it comes to physical health, but don't realize how similar mental health is. So say you had somebody who was in just terrible physical shape. So just getting out of bed caused them all sorts of aches and pains, and they were out of breath and their heart's racing and they're sweating. They can't go upstairs anymore. That's totally off the table. Their doctors told them, you have to get things together. You're at super high risk of heart disease. They're eating terribly, they're drinking, they're smoking all of the time, they're tired all of the time. There's all sorts of health complications, all sorts of symptoms resulting from the fact that they're just in really poor physical shape. And they're not doing anything to take care of their body. So they decide, you know what, I'm going to start to take care of my health. That's not something I've done before, but I know it's possible, I'm going to do it. So they've never exercised before, but they get a trainer, and their trainer helps them start an exercise program that starts easy and builds up to more difficult, more strenuous exercises. They don't go on some silly crash diet. They start to change how they eat and what they eat and when they eat, and they start to eat in a very healthy way. They start to change all sorts of things in their lives to support the healthy changes they're making. They change how they work, they change how they sleep, they change everything. And they stick with this. And this doesn't happen instantly, it doesn't happen overnight, because changing your body is something that takes time. But over the course of a year, by sticking with it, they see an amazing transformation. And they start to get into really great physical health, in great physical shape. And a lot of those symptoms they've dealt with before, the racing heart, being out of breath, sweating all the time, the aches and pains, start to go away. They have more energy. They're able to do the things they want to do. They get into great physical shape. Now that they're in great physical shape, can they stop all of those things they were doing? Can they stop exercising and eating well and sleeping well and working well? No, because if they do stop doing all of that, because their body can change, because it's not static, it would go backwards. And when it goes backwards and it goes back to poor physical health, they're going to start to see those same symptoms again, those same symptoms that they didn't like before. And this is where you can start to see the parallels between physical health and mental health. When we experience poor physical health, we experience all sorts of symptoms that we don't like, and that might drive us to create change. But that change is very difficult. When we experience poor mental health, we experience all sorts of symptoms that we don't like that can drive us to make changes. And again, those changes are very, very difficult. They're incredibly difficult. But as we're making those changes, that experience has all sorts of benefits. That experience of recovery and that experience of change helps us do the things we want to do in life and go the places we want to go. But we have to keep making those changes and maintaining those changes, or else we slide backwards, just like with physical health. Because recovery is not this destination you arrive at and then everything is perfect and you never have to do anything healthy again. Just like with physical health, it's not like you train to run a 5K race, you run it, and then you'll be able to run a 5K race for the rest of your life without ever practicing or eating well or anything like that. You'll very quickly slide back. Your endurance will decrease very rapidly if you're not maintaining it. And the same is true with mental health. One of the things I like about the recovery journey and the experience of going through recovery is that after you've gone some distance and you've started to make changes and you start to see the impact those changes have in your life and how transformative that is, you also start to see the paths that can take you back to the way things were. We often don't choose to end up with the mental health problems we have, but as we start to make changes, we can start to see how our choices can lead us back to those problems. Just like if we're making changes that are helping us get into great physical shape, we start to see how making certain decisions that maybe we thought were great in the past and maybe we thought made us happy in the past are actually going to take us back to the way things were and are actually going to create problems in our life. Even though they seem like they might be making us happy or offering us relief in the short term, they're actually making us unhappy in the long term. And recovery is so much about making changes and maintaining those changes so that we're happy in the long term. I'm in a place now where I'd say I've been OCD free for several years, but one of the benefits of going on that journey is knowing that I can very easily start to make choices that would take me back to OCD. I could totally start to engage in the same compulsions again and start to react to anxiety and try to make it go away and try to cope with and check on and control uncertainty in all sorts of different areas of my life, at home, at work, and relationships, and very quickly I would be right back to where I was, because my brain can change, my body can change, and that's amazing. But if I start to make those choices again, that's where I'll end up. So I wouldn't say that OCD is chronic, because I'm able to maintain a lifestyle right now where I don't have OCD, but I do have mental health. And mental health is something I take care of every single day, and I will always have mental health for the rest of my life. And I hope I can always do things to take care of that and to continue to see the ways that I can maintain great mental health and keep improving it. So I hope on your journey of recovery, you're able to start to see the different paths that can lead you back to a place you don't want to go, and the paths that can continue to take you to places where you do want to go. It's a phenomenally empowering gift to learn how our bodies and our brains change, but it's also important that we learn how to nurture that gift so we're not constantly falling back into the way things were, but are instead able to maintain health and be able to maintain recovery in a place where we want to be, where we're able to do the things we want to do and go the places where we want to go.